Hello everybody, today we're going to talk about a new lens I just picked up, 7.5mm f2 lens made by Venus Optics. It's called the Laowa. The lens is extremely compact. For comparison, the 7.5mm would work out to be about a 15mm, 35mm equivalent on the Lumix GH5. Whereas if you were to use something like this ginormous Tokina 11 to 16mm f2.8 along with the speed booster, it's several pounds heavier. At least it feels several pounds heavier. And I really don't believe that this lens with the speed booster is nearly as sharp as the 7.5mm Laowa that we're shooting with right now. I believe we're shooting at ISO 200 between f2.8 and f4. I'm using the X-ray color checker, a new one that I picked up. The other one that I used to use, this little baby, is way too small, especially when you're using a wide-angle lens and you have to get up within a ½ inch of the lens in order to do the custom white balance. So really impractical, especially with wide-angle lens. So we picked this one up. It's pretty expensive though. Just this sheet of paper can run around $50 or so, I guess, depending on where you pick it up. But in Vietnam, it's not cheap, and they're very scarce, so you don't have a lot of bargaining power. I've talked many times about how changing camera bodies every year is kind of a waste of money, that you'd be better off investing in things like tripods, audio equipment, lighting. So I thought maybe I'd go over a couple of the lights that we're using today. I just scattered them all over the room, willy-nilly. There's no rhyme or reason for it. This is the case for the Rotolite, and I've got that here on my bed. I'll go grab it. This is the Rotolite Neo, the first one. They just came out with a new one. It's the Rotolite Neo 2. This baby does put out quite a bit of light, but the new one has about 85% more power. And the new one also has the ability to use it as a strobe or a high-speed sync flash, as well as a continuous lighting source. So pretty nifty, but had I known they were going to come out with the Rotolite Neo 2, I probably would have held off on purchasing this, but it's a really nice compact light and quite powerful. In the back here, we've got the Yongnuo, difficult to pronounce the name, but the model number is YN-216. This one I've got it set on a tungsten balance here, but you can adjust the color to daylight or tungsten, whatever you prefer. This thing kicks out a lot of light. It's got a pretty nice battery on here, so it'll last several hours. It's got barn doors on there, so it's quite a directional light even without the barn doors. But for about $60, this is probably one of the most powerful lights you can get, LED lights anyway. In the back here, we've got Laowa Flapjack Photodiox in the United States sells this practically the identical light. It's very heavy, maybe over 20 pounds. It can be totally battery powered or operated on AC. Beautiful soft light. And then outside of the picture frame, I've got a smaller one. I think it's called the Laowa 7.5mm RSV. And that one is just a few pounds. You can easily carry it around and go on location with that light. Though I don't think the smaller one would overpower daylight or anything, but it'd be great in interior shots or in on an overcast day. In the very back, we've got this Laowa LED 100 white WB. It's a white balance light. You can dim it, make it stronger. I've got a Godox softbox on here, but to tell you the truth, if I had to do it over, I wouldn't have gotten the Godox. It's very difficult to assemble and disassemble, so you don't want to take it apart because it's such an aggravating thing to do. I would have tried to find another softbox that's much easier to put together and take down.